Kate, let's add you to the conversation. What did you make of Nikki Haley diving right in, as we were just talking a moment ago, about these investigations of Donald Trump? The Republican base has largely suggested that they're with Donald Trump. They think most of this is BS. And for her to say, look, I'm not sure if the E. Jean Carroll verdict was fair or unfair. I haven't followed all the details. But every day Donald Trump's in a courtroom, it's a day he's not fighting for you. What do you think about that case she's trying to make?
Well, I think it's very interesting. I keep saying throughout the last week or two, she's not paying very close attention to what the Republican base wants. She keeps going, off topic. And I think here she should have seen what it did for him to go through these investigations, through all of these indictments. It only emboldened his base. So she's essentially attacking his base when she's attacking all of those things about Donald Trump, which is swayed millions of people in Donald Trump's direction. She just is a little bit tone deaf to what Republicans want. Her brand of republicanism is not being found 10 out of 10 is being found like a 5 out of 10. And I just don't see her winning or even coming close in her own home state of South Carolina, no matter what.
Kate, what about the fact that Donald Trump was ahead of the curve on the border crisis, and now you see Democrat mayors in various cities saying they can't keep up with the services they're giving out to illegal immigrants? To Vernon's point, there are homeless American veterans, U.S. citizens, who are living under bridges, and we're handing out phones and meals and the rest of it to illegal immigrants. And Nikki Haley was talking about that for sure in her remarks, but this is an issue that Donald Trump has owned for a long time.
Oh, I 100% agree. And I am actually the CEO of VetCom, and we help veterans and homeless veterans. And the amount of deprioritization of all communities, especially veterans under this administration, you saw 161,000 illegal immigrants seen in VA hospitals. They're kicking them out of the transitionary housing. There's a rise in veteran homelessness just because this particular administration does not care about veterans. They do not care about African Americans, the Latina community, the homeless. They don't care at all. So if people are looking around, they don't really want to guess if you're going to make it happen, Nikki Haley. No offense to you. They're looking back saying our country was safer. I want more of that. And I'm not willing to take a chance on you for the border, the economy, homeless, veterans, lawless, drugs, and terror. Donald Trump owns all of those.
He certainly does have a record there. Kate Monroe, Vernon Jones, thank you both so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
She's got a long way to go to get to 1,215, and that's the lucky number, Kate, to get that GOP nomination. You think she stays in the race?
Whether she stays in the race or not isn't indicative of whether she should or not. I mean, if you really look at what made up who voted for her and who voted for Trump, he was able to secure 3/4 of all the Republican votes there. She ended up getting 6 out of 10 of the independents. So she's not resonating well with the Republican base. And if you're not resonating well with the Republican base, especially when you enter into a state like South Carolina, you are definitely not going to beat Trump. I mean, I think at some point she has to understand that the American people doesn't want your brand of republicanism. And the country is sick of being labeled. I certainly am. I get sick of hearing this nonsense. I mean, maybe the left is so crafty that they also enjoyed the economy under Trump more too. And that's why they're going to put Biden up, because they know that he will inevitably fail in a rematch against Trump. I mean, I think he's gone so far the wrong direction. There's no turning back now. There's no winning.
Kate, what does it say about our left-wing government that our enemies feel so at ease targeting our military bases and embassies around the globe?
Well, I mean, it just goes to show you, the level of feckless leadership that we have on the Democratic side. Under Trump, you would have never seen this kind of ridiculous overreach by anybody. He managed to keep the entire world in check, let alone this group. So they are basically posturing and taunting us because they know that we are going to respond in a weak manner. And so I just think that it says everything it needs to say. They believe that we will do nothing. They believe that we will be weak.
And Trump, I hope that people lean Trump's direction and that they will be a far more safe with their families. We will get the border closed again. These wars across the world will absolutely shut down. So we need to focus on it getting down to a two-person race, not between Nikki Haley and Donald Trump, but between Donald Trump and Joe Biden rolling into the general election. Because if you're actually a conservative person and you're actually deeply footed in your Republicanism, you're not going to be leaning, as he said, toward Nikki Haley. A lot of young people up and coming are leaning toward Trump. I don't think that she's done enough to reach the conservative base of the Republican Party heading into that season. I don't think it will be her at the end of the day. And if you look at it, it's very interesting if you ask a Democrat, which we're doing now, who they prefer Nikki Haley. Because she is a little bit of a rhino. I would say that she's in some ways a spoil. I think if you put her up against Joe Biden, they're both a little bit of a Democrat, and I think people would go toward Joe Biden. So if you're a Republican watching this, you have to be very careful who you vote for to get into the general election.
I'll go first. I mean, if you're talking about the base, I will fire up the shit out of the base, okay? Because the base of the Republican Party is tired of all this crap. They're tired of all your politics. They're tired of your nice. They're tired of your diplomacy. They're sick of it. They're sick of even watching their own news. And I know because I'm on it every damn day. Every freaking day. How will you fire up the base? By doing the shit that the base wants. The base wants to they want to secure the border. I gave you a plan how you secure the border. It's a very bold plan. And you'd have to enact the military, but I'm going to tell you right now, the National Guard will be happy to march their little ass right to that border to secure their country. You have to stop being lukewarm. You want to talk about your moral compass? Read your Bible. God warns you about being lukewarm. You want to stand on both sides? It will spit you out. Nobody wants your lukewarm crap. They want you to take a stand and plant your flag. I am the only one of us who will tell you the harsh truth and tell it like it is. Even if you're filming me, I hope you send it to everybody. You know why? Because I hope when people go to vote, they vote for Kate Monroe because they did know what I would stand for. They did know that I would lay my life down for you.
I don't need to do this. I'm the CEO of a very successful company. I was already in the media before I started doing this. This to me is about helping our country get back to where it was. Like Trump or not, he said, make America great again. I can't wait to be a part of making America great again and making Americans great again. That's it.